Uh, are we
Hello,
on?
everyone. We're on. Hello, everyone. It's Diane, the massage mentor. I've been doing massage since 1996 and have not taken a paycheck from another business ever since then. And I just keep getting excited almost every week. It's the people I get to talk to. I can't believe Erik in the house. Hi, Erik.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and
Thank you,
love.
Diane.
It's so good to see you. Okay, so can we dive right in? Should we just dive right into the question?
Yeah.
What was it like being in the field of psychology and then getting into massage?
I was terrible in psychology. I was, I loved the science of psychology. I mean, I loved it because, the brain stuff I'm still very interested in. But what I didn't like is being a psychologist, listening to whiny people come in and whine all day. And, I mean, now I like them in my practice. They can come in and whine. When you get your hands on them, it's a whole other thing.
It is.
Have you ever noticed how people open up more to you when you touch them? Matter of
Absolutely.
fact, sometimes you don't want to shut up. I don't want to hear. I don't need any more personal stuff, please.
TMI.
Yeah, but that's what I love about it. I love to be able to use the psychology in my bodywork practice, which I think we all need to do for setting a context so that their brains are able to trust you, know they're in the right place, and that they've come to the person that's going to help them the most. You've got to set that context.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that.
Absolutely.
And I do. I think it's one of the reasons I've been following you a lot. And I'm just
Thank you.
you are so smart. And you really just blend this
I'm
intellectual
old. It's not smart. It's old. Once you get to this,
intellectual side, and then you pull it all together. And I'm always like, wow, how does he do that? Okay. All right. I'll keep going. So you created your own technique. You have your own institute. Could you just tell us a little bit about, it's a journey to create a technique. Yeah. It's not like you're like, hey, I'm going to whip this up today. I got the little outline. It's a lot of work. Build an institute's a lot of work. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that journey?
Yeah, well, I wanted to teach. I hate teaching, actually. I'm down 2 times a year, down from 2012 when I retired. I was doing 12 to 60 events a year. And I do an Oklahoma City workshop, 4th of July weekend. This will be our 7th annual Oklahoma City workshop. We got a bunch I invite all my friends, my guest educators, James Wozlowski, Eric Stevenson. He's going to be teaching an afternoon thing on Saturday. Drew Freeman, the tape guy, all sorts of people come and just hang out we got about 165 participants in the workshop. And it's just a blast. We just have a big party, actually, and have a lot of fun. I do that every year, and then this will be our 20th anniversary of our Costa Rica Pain Management in Paradise, Costa Rica retreat.
Yeah.
I got interested in pain. Anytime you hurt a part of your body, that becomes your major interest for a long time. And when I fractured my neck, I had no use of my left arm for 6 to 7 months. And so in the process of trying to help myself, I started doing some tissue where I would actually kind of contact the tissue in and around joints. And that got me real interested in how the joints relate to the neurology of how the joints create reactive muscle spasm and how reactive muscle spasm therefore pulls the joints out of alignment and causes a lot of dysfunction seen today. Basically, I got interested in the pain management model, and the raw thing was basically based on a postural model. It's still based a lot of my stuff on a postural model, but in a different sense. We have to look at it in a different way because of new science. But yeah, it includes a whole bunch of stuff. We do nerve flossing. It just depends on what the people come in with. But
it's a huge benefit to a lot of us out here in the community. So I'm really thankful for that. And one of the things I also love that I read on your website is proper treatment entails finding and addressing cause of pain rather than focusing on the location of the pain. And that's a big one for me personally. And I love to see it written down. And you wrote it out so nicely. Can you just talk a little bit more about that for us?
I don't remember what I wrote in the website. Yeah, I can hardly remember what happened yesterday. But basically, the thing that people need to take away about pain, the most important thing about pain and working on people that are in pain is that pain is the sum of all inputs. So You know, a lot of people say, well, you know, I got this virus infection, I got a bronchial infection, all of a sudden my back pain that I've had for my chronic back pain started hurting. Well, that's the same thing. That's the sum of all inputs. So if you have an emotional problem, you're fighting with your wife, that's input going into your nervous system. All these different inputs. Chronic muscle guarding, muscle spasm, old injuries, and things like that. They're constantly feeding noxious messages into the spinal cord and brain. So if you just try to go to where the pain is located, you're going to miss it because, of course, the pain is really a product of the brain. The brain decides, it predicts what's going on, and it tries to decide whether it's necessary to address that pain. So, you know, a lot of pain is upregulated. It really isn't even that bad. You know, a lot of people have chronic neck and back pain, and you get in there and work on them, and you go, you know, this just doesn't feel that bad. But then you start asking about the other issues in their life, and they go, my God, I'd be hurting too, you know, everywhere. A lot of people with fibromyalgia, the pain is a sum of all inputs. So any kind of input that's sending noxious messages to the cord is going to upregulate the pain. And so anything you can do as a massage therapist, I just have been really interested lately in the hormonal system, how the hormonal system of the body, particularly oxytocin, the love hormone, the endorphins, beta endorphins, how beta endorphins cause us to not be able to block pain. The hormonal system, one of the things that massage therapists do not realize is that they know they're getting people better, but they don't know why. And that's what everybody in the business right now, I just had a conversation with Whitney Lowe about this recently. We want to find out why this is working, why all this has been working for so long for us, because science is not backing it up very well. You know, a lot of the things I learned in Rolfing, I mean, most of it, I've had to really go back because fascia has not turned out to be the thing that we had hoped it would be. Trigger points had not been the things we totally hoped they would be. And so we've really had to redo a lot of our philosophy and thinking on what are we doing to get these people better, you know? And one of them is we're down-regulating the nervous system through the hormonal system. So I've been writing a lot of stuff on that. I got some articles on that on my website, and that's one of the things that's interesting me right now.
So thankful for all your hard work. It's like I said, it's just so amazing and so helpful. And one of the pictures that I've seen too is the head. You know how when someone leans their head forward, every inch it gets heavier and heavier and get up to like 42 pounds. Mm. So. And then now we're getting all the way down to the hormones. What is your favorite part of the human body? What fascinates you most? Can you pick one thing, or do you kind of focus on one area at a time?
That 42-pound head poster you're talking about, that's been famous. We designed that in 1994, and
I love that.
Yeah. And it's actually 9.8 pounds instead of 10. I called it 10, but it turned out to be 9.8 pounds. For every inch the head moves forward in the sagittal plane, you have to increase the weight of the head by 10 pounds as far as how much effort it takes for it to hold back. So if you got a 12-pound head, which is a pretty heavy head, and it moves 3 inches forward, then you got a 42-pound head that these neck extensors are trying to hold back from gravity all day long. And the problem with that is it starts to affect muscle imbalance problems, upper cross syndrome, things that we see where you've got the tight pecs and the shoulder girdle muscles with rhomboids and lower traps and stuff that are weak. And then the brain starts to memorize it. The midbrain starts to memorize it. Once it memorizes it, then you've got to add movement. You've got to have your home retraining exercises. And I know in some states people don't allow home retraining exercises. So I get around that by saying, well, this is what I would do. This is the advice. This is self-care advice. I'm not telling you to go do this specific thing. This is what I do. And that's how you can get around it legally if your state does not allow you to offer real home retraining exercises or give them any kind of stuff to do. But they've got to do that to get their posture back. And, you know, and posture is not definitely a direct cause of pain, but it is another noxious input. A noxious input all day long, you're carrying that heavy head around, it's sending the mechanoreceptors in the neck, sending noxious messages, you get a little bit of inflammatory waste products, the chemoreceptors are stimulated. Pretty soon you've got the nociceptors stimulated, and you've got the brain having the possibility of sending pain down, which sends reactive muscle guarding, and then you just got a big spasm pain cycle. And we work on that every day, all of us. You know, pain past spasm, pain cycle. Got to figure out how to break it.
So really, I think what I hear you saying too, and one thing I've been thinking about for myself in my own life on an emotional level, it's like almost reprogramming the program. You know, you just can't jump from point A to point Z, right? There's a lot in between.
Right. Yeah. So if you got the limbic system, and then you got the prefrontal cortex, which is always, you know, it's scolding the limbic system, always trying to keep the limbic system in under control. So we got those two working against us, and we, you know, we're born to be fearful. I mean, everybody goes, oh gosh, I'm so inside, I feel so shy, I'm so fearful. Well, we're supposed to be fearful. We're designed to be fearful. The amygdala in the brain keeps us when the hunter-gatherers would see a rough rustling bush and then a tiger would step out, the amygdala is the fear thing. It says, oh, I knew there was something like that. And then it keeps telling the hippocampus, the memory thing, anytime you see anything rustling in the bush from now on, be afraid. And so these things are programmed in us early to be afraid. And so it's not an unnatural thing. And when people realize that it's not unnatural to be fearful of your pain, of all that stuff, they get a lot more comfortable with their pain. You know, you've got to be at ease with your pain, and you've got to let the people know that to be at ease with it, that you're both working together. You're going to solve this problem, but it's going to take both of you. You're working with the person, not on the person, right?
Love that. I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the things too, I love asking people, especially people that have had such success as yourself. So as a teacher, what are a couple of the obstacles you had to overcome to become, you know, comfortable?
Yeah, well, you know, I was a professional musician, a drummer for 17 years in Los Angeles, made a bunch of records and traveled the world and had a great time. But you know, when you're sitting back at the drums, you don't, you know, you've got the other guys up in front of you. But on stage, I mean, I really don't like teaching. I've liked it that much. I got into it accidentally because I was learning all this stuff. I was going to Michigan State College of Osteopathic Medicine, taking postgraduate workshops and learning all this stuff. And I go, God, this stuff fits so well in the massage therapy community. I've got to start integrating it. And then when I started putting it in writing and integrating it, I said, well, I've got to teach it. I'm never going to remember it if I don't teach it. And that's how I fell into this thing. But I'm basically an introvert, a shy person, and a recluse. I have a home in Costa Rica, and I go there and hide away from my wife. No, hide away from that too. But you know, thrill me each. I don't like it once we get on stage and everybody starts working and all that stuff. But all the stuff where you're up talking, jabbering, like this kind of stuff is, I'm not really talking about myself. I don't really like to talk about myself too much. I'm kind of a private person.
Well, that's understandable. You know, I'm happy that you're talking a little with us. Like I said, I think sometimes too that people don't realize how much hard work goes into what you're doing, and that, you know, putting yourself out there takes energy, it takes commitment, and sometimes it's not the place we're most comfortable, but we do it because we believe in what we're finding out. You know, you know, we got to spread the word. So
yeah,
I'm gonna
I love
just
seeing what happens. You know, I love seeing the people, the results. I love to see the smile on people's face at the end of the 3-day workshop. And we have always noticed, you know, from day 1 to day 3, my teaching assistants, I've had some of the same teaching assistants for 25 years, and
that's awesome.
And they'll come up and they'll go, you know, the first day, these people look terrible. I mean, God, this group, our Costa Rica group a few years ago, I'm going, oh my God, this is going to be the longest week of my life. And then day 2, it's like, well, I don't know, you know. And then by day 3, we're going, these guys are great. What happened?
Yeah.
One of the things we found out, it's not what you're teaching them with their hands, it's what you're teaching them with their body. Once they learn to use their body better and leverage their body and all that, and everybody talks about that, but really, that's one of the things we focus on. And that's what we realize, well, it's not what I'm teaching them to do with their hands or these techniques. That's not what's getting them better so quickly. They're using their body weight. They're getting in there. And so that's what we focus on. We focus on getting them better. By day 3 of the workshop, they're going to be better therapists, you know.
Thank you for sharing that, because it is so important. And it's like a little mystery. You know, you're reading a mystery novel and you're just paging through waiting to see how it unfolds. So that's really exciting. So, okay. So what would, I think you just answered one of the last questions is, what are some highlights? What are some gifts that you've gotten personally through teaching? And I guess you kind of just answered that, but do you want to elaborate anymore?
Yeah, we've got we have we call them the Dalton gang because a lot of us have been together. Some of my teachers, Paul Kelly, who teaches more workshops than anybody right now, he has been assisting me for 20 years and been teaching his own workshops now for 12 years. And so, it's just such a thrill to get together with all of these people that, that you've been through so much with and seen so much with. And we all get when we teach an Oklahoma City workshop, we'll get in my suite. We'll come up and set up a therapy table and work on each other all 3 days, because look what I learned. Oh God, we got to integrate this. This is great. We got to do this. So that's a thrill I get out of it. I love the people that, on Facebook too. I mean, you got a lot of followers. I have my Erik Dalton Techniques Space group page. It's a group. You need to join that. There's 5,000 people there. And then my Dalton Myoskeletal Therapy group, we got 90,000 people on that. So, so you need to get in there and catch up on all the stuff that's going on there. But we have, that endears me to all these people that are, that say so many nice things about the workshops and the stuff that we've been through personally.
I've heard so many good things about you, and it's like I said, it's just such an honor to have some of your time and some of your energy here on the Massage Mentor Closed Group. And please check out Erik and all he's doing. We also will post his website, all his books and CDs and classes. And why wouldn't you want to go to Costa Rica?
Yeah, it's good. It's almost full though this year, but yeah, it's a good one. This is 20 years, so it should be a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations on everything. Do you have anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah, they can download that 42-pound head poster free on my website. Just sign up to the newsletter and download it, and it's become a wall poster. So that's something that's easy to explain. Yeah, just have your clients take a look at that, and it kind of explains why you're wanting to get everything lifted back up for them and making them feel and look their best.
Wonderful. And sorry about the cutout to everyone, and I'm hoping that this comes through at least so that it's visible, because we're having a little trouble back here. But Erik, again, it was just such an honor. If you would hang tight for 1 minute once we end, everyone, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And please, I know most of you probably already know who Erik is and follow him as it is. But if you don't, please check him out. He's just just so smart. He's
Thank
so
you.
Smart.
Appreciate it.
Oh my God.
Appreciate it.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.